centuries, Alderaan stood as a beacon of hope in the Republic. But the Empire came.
I have chosen to test this station's destructive power on your home planet of Alderaan.
Peace while you suffer. The Emperor drowns you in black waters.
He wants me to be Darth Revan again. Serve him as I did centuries ago. He made me a Sith Lord and named me Darth Revan.
The Force does not control you. You saved Ugantia using something you thought was important. But your motives are still aligned with the Jedi Code.
To arms, men! Defend the throne!
Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him. He was weak and foolish, like his father. So I destroyed him.
Master Windu, you have fought gallantly. Worthy of recognition in the archives of the Jedi. It is finished.
To them it is.
I have been waiting for you. Is it true that he is the chosen one?
Hey guys, this is Alex. My voice is going, which I'm kind of worried about. But, that aside, welcome to State of the Galaxy, episode number 7. And I should probably apologise first and foremost by saying, well, sorry, that this episode didn't come out when I primarily promised, I think, in one of the other episodes. I didn't really get around. There was a lot of Christmas stuff to do, so it didn't really come out when I planned for it to come out, unfortunately. But it is out now, hopefully. I mean, my internet's dipping in and out, so who knows if it will even come out on the 29th, which is when I plan. This is the official plan, to bring it out on the 29th, as if it were a regular episode. Now, I don't know how much I said in the other episodes. You're going to have to forgive my knowledge of my own show. But what I plan to do is to do a bit of a nostalgia tour. So, for those who know my channel well, we used to do a series known as Nerdscast, and we did an episode called Episode 24, and it was a Star Wars special hosted by myself and my good friend Adam. For whatever reason, I never actually decided to bring it out. Quite possibly because Matt at the time, hello Matt, probably hated me just from the pure amount of Star Wars content that I was bringing out. Probably still does, to be fair. So, and then there were probably other reasons. It was a long old podcast. It was like an hour and 40. So I just, it kind of fell into the archive and was just never touched, which was unfortunate, really, because we really talked about some cool stuff. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. In fact, I think it was part of the original plan when I started to do this series. So what I've done is I've gone onto my microphone, I went through, hoping that it was there, and by chance it was there. And this file, assuming that the file hasn't been corrupted and is telling me wrong information, is actually dated for September the 3rd, 2011. So we're really going back a bit. I mean, it's very soon going to be 2018. This is jumping back 7 years. 7 year. Wait, no way. Sorry, did I say 2001? No, wait. 2000. I don't even know what year I said. Wait, 2011. So, my gosh, no, that can't be. Wow, that's about 6 and a bit years. That's incredible. So this recording is quite old. So I should probably go over some of the stuff. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to save it. You guys can experience it. So this is me, this is Adam, and we are going to talk a long old time about Star Wars. We will be doing the Star Wars questionnaire, and also, I completely forgot about this actually, my own Star Wars questionnaire. Don't worry, they're not one after the other. There's a nice little bit of us just chatting about, because at the time the new Star Wars trailer had come out for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, so you can get a bit of a feel about what we were thinking at the time, and it and see how very wrong we were, because obviously The Force Awakens now has been out for a few years, so you can really kind of see the predictions we were, because it's nice for me especially to go back on some of the old fan stuff that's out there from some of my favourite YouTubers, and just think, oh, you know, they predicted that Darth Sidious would return, they predicted that Snoke was Plagueis and stuff like that, and it doesn't really ever turn out to be the way that people think it might be, but it's always nice to kind of reminisce on what we thought, at least. So I'm gonna leave you to really past us. Wow, it was a long time ago. So I really hope you enjoy this. It's going to be like 2 hours long. This thing's insane. 2 hours long podcast special. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a very Happy New Year. You will hear from me again at the end of the episode. I'm going to speculate a bit about what we said. Hopefully I can remember. I've just edited it, so I mean it is nearly 2 a.m, so who knows how caught up or how together I'm going to be. My voice has really changed. I don't know whether you noticed that. Maybe this is my new voice. This is something. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in about 2 hours' time.
We're 24 episodes in.
Jesus. Well, you haven't done a Star Wars specifically themed podcast this entire time?
No.
Wow.
So Adam, welcome to something that I've been wanting, like I said, to do for a while. The Star Wars podcast. The Star Wars podcast. And I'd love to do a Borderlands with you, one with you at some point.
Oh, trust me, when we start hearing more stuff about Borderlands 3, and when Tales of Borderlands actually ends, like, that last episode's coming out this month, because 4th was last month. Got one more. Like, the next podcast I'm on after that, I'm just going to like...
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and play as many of the Borderlands games as I can.
You definitely should, they're really good.
And hopefully then have something to contribute.
They're really fun. They're so good.
Okay, so what I'm going to start off with now is something that I did, I think it was over a year ago now, the Star Wars questionnaire, which was something that was trending with YouTube's most favoured Star Wars fans. Unfortunately, I'm not with that community at the moment. I'd like to be at some point. Maybe
got to get in there with the big boys.
But it started off and they wanted to make it a meme. And I've got all the questions here, I was wondering what you thought in regards to these questions. I've done them before. I'll be happy to retranslate my answers that I did.
Sure.
Okay. So question number 1. For you personally, would you be a Jedi or would you be a Sith?
Oh, this is a question that I have been asked so many times, and I can never really figure out what I want, because the Sith are just cooler.
Yeah.
The Sith are just, regardless, always going to be cooler than the Jedis. But I've always been aligned good. I can never take, like, the bad path of anything.
No.
I always immediately go aligned good. But that's what it, like... I'd probably be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to be Jedi. I'd probably say Jedi. But
you could say an in-between, because there have always been dark Jedi.
I guess so.
Who have pursued their own ends rather than just a mass annihilation. They've just not really liked the Jedi.
It's like the whole time, though, like, if I pick Jedi, I'd be on the Jedi side doing Jedi stuff, but I'd just always be looking at the Sith guys and they're fighting Sith and just be like, you're way cooler than us. Like, oh.
Yeah, but they have to go through some dark stuff in order to get what's
they have to have,
not
like,
just mentally but physically.
Their families slaughtered.
Usually by their own hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Jedi's probably a safe... You know, I've always been swaying towards the Jedi. When I first did this questionnaire, I said that I was Sith. Probably still would be. But
Sith are just cooler.
Yeah, but it's not the only reason. It's just the Jedi, they restrict feelings and possessions, while the Sith encourage it to create passion, which I agree in. I don't agree in the mass slaughter stuff, but in terms of their morals towards physical attachment in both people and possessions, I agree in.
That's actually something that I've always wanted, though, because it's like with Jedi,
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, like peace and order and everything, but they have a very like monk attitude of things, you know, like no possession, no feeling, you know, you're kind of cut off from everything. But then you, like you say, like Sith encourage it, which is a good thing. Like you should encourage like your inner feelings and stuff. But then why do they do so much evil?
Well, something I'd like to think that George Lucas was thinking of, and it's something that he actually openly said in Star Wars Episode 2, which is what makes it better, which I know so many people hate Star Wars Episode 2, but there's a scene where Anakin's trying to fix a pod after his mother's died.
Yeah.
And he's freaking the hell out, and Padme brings him some blue milk. To be angry is to be human.
Yeah.
And I think what George Lucas was trying to portray is that you can't have one being that's all good, and you can't have one that's all bad.
Yeah.
You have to have the middle ground.
But doesn't that make it kind of seem like...
a boring life lesson.
No. The Sith are extremist, but they're the middle ground. Like, so it's like it's not Jedi are the good guys, Sith are the bad guys, and it's like you're supposed to be the middle ground. It's more like the Jedi are the good guys, the Sith are the middle ground. There is no bad guys, but the Sith are extremists of the middle ground. You know, they're like, yeah, let's be all like encourage feelings, be happy or be angry or be sad, feel how you want to feel. Yeah, but you know, I'm kind of busy slaughtering this entire school of tiny little guys. Like they can't seem to find that
perfect middle
ground. That perfect thing. Like there are no bad guys. They're just like the Sith are the middle ground, but they're extremist.
Well, some of them are the darker ones, like maybe my Sith that I was working on, and Revenant for a time.
Oh yeah,
and Sidious definitely. He was in the beyond the middle ground. He was straying into just full on psycho.
It's weird. It's like it's as if there should be like another like subsidiary of Sith, where it's just like they are like just evil. They are nothing else. They are only bad guys.
They are only bad guys.
Like the dude that we was just on about.
Nihilist.
Oh my god! It's something. It's the weird hood shape with the ears. That's what freaks me out. I think that's what makes it unsettling. But he booked me out. I didn't like it. It wasn't fun.
No, he's very very cool, and I've actually scripted and narrated the first part of his story, so that should come out at some point. But his story is quite nice. It's very tragic for him because he loses a lot.
Well, yeah. He's dead, essentially, isn't he?
But he, it somewhat justifies what he does, because he's not just sort of like, right, I'm happy, but you know what my life is lacking? Slaughter and death. I think I may just do that.
You could not have summed up Sith any better. It's like, I feel pretty good. Kind of want to go kill some people though. Just cause.
It's like I have this strawberry sundae, but you know what will make it better? Chocolate sprinkles.
Chocolate sprinkles. I honestly thought you was going to just say blood. just cover it in blood. There you go. Yeah, that's better. It's a lot better.
So yeah. So
souls of the innocent.
So that's your answer for question 1. You'd be Jedi.
I'd be Jedi, but always probably wanting cool Sith powers.
Okay, fair enough. Question 2. What is your favourite world? This can be expanded universe or the films or anything that you've heard of Star Wars related.
Forest Moon of Endor.
Yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah?
Because it's just I've always had a thing for like planets that are just jungles or forests. Like in Rogue Galaxy, that awesome PS2 game that I was talking about in the other podcast, there's a planet in it called Jerica, and it's literally just a jungle. It's an entire jungle on a planet, and I've just always had a thing for like extreme planets where it's just like it's like one biome. Like either I don't suppose is there a planet, as far as I know, I don't know one. Is there a planet in the Star Wars universe, expanded or like just the vanilla, that is just like a beach, that is just mostly water and just beachiness? Is there anywhere like that?
The only thing I've ever seen that's like that would be a sketch from Robot Chicken. Oh god! That's for the dinosaur skeleton that C-3PO finds in Star Wars Episode 4. Two Loch Ness monsters talking in like this sort of sandy paradise with a lake.
Oh my god!
That is all I've ever seen. To be honest, I've never actually seen a sandy planet with water, but there probably is one out there, I'd imagine. I mean, maybe this new one that we're getting in Star Wars 7 could be something like that, because I don't know whether you know, but that's not actually Tatooine.
No, it's just
it's a new planet entirely. I had to rewrite the trailer analysis for that.
Oh god!
Because I found out halfway through, I was like,
god damn it! Oh, so something actually that I wanted to bring up as well was like you know when the trailer for Episode 7 came out, and everyone was just like, oh my god, a stormtrooper that's black or clone. I was just like, what the hell? Like they all meant to look the same, and everyone was freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Like, didn't anyone? I'd like to think a lot of people put 2 and 2 together, and they were like, they're just doing a Han Solo and Luke. He's just wearing the armor, and he's some other guy.
That's the point that I made, and also, because I'm not sure whether this is canon anymore, because it was technically expanded universe, but it was the things like video games. So I'm not sure whether that's been taken down too. But after the Empire was established, there was a lot of problems where there were rogue clone batches. And they decided to clone from multiple specimens rather than just the one.
So he could have potentially been one of those.
He could have potentially been one of those. So that was one of my points. The other one being the Han Solo and Luke thing, which I did bring up.
Yeah, because that would have made so much sense. Everyone, and now especially considering
Because now he has
yeah, it's like, oh, he's a Jedi now, so it's like, yeah, he's doing a Luke.
He's
just
doing a Luke,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, no, what was it? Endor, because I like jungle forest planets. Ewok tree houses look cool. They just look rad. I've always loved that, like the little tree housey things and stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It was pretty damn cool. Okay,
Endor.
So this is something that I'm not sure whether you're going to know much about. In a way, I kind of hope you don't, because for me, it's kind of bad for me to know so much about the lightsaber fighting styles and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But you can compare it to someone else and we'll know what you're talking about. So this question 3 is lightsaber type, color, and combat style.
Ooh, okay.
So that's lightsaber, be it a double-bladed, single-bladed, what material it's made out of, then color, and then the lightsaber fighting style combat theme.
I don't know. Obviously purple. I'd have to have Mace Windu.
I think Grant would have a stroke if he didn't.
Oh god, yeah,
if
no.
it weren't purple.
It's like, I want a yellow one. Grant's like, what? Oh, it's just. Do you remember that day I came into college and I wore a white hoodie and everyone just freaked out? Everyone was just like, "Are you okay? Are you?
Who are you and what have you done with Adam?"
No, I definitely want
a purple one.
Purple one. I don't know so much about like materials and.
Okay, well, most of them
are
are made out of metal, obviously.
Yeah.
But then there are some very unique ones. Like, for example, in a Clone Wars episode, there was a Wookiee that made his out of a tree branch.
Really?
There are wooden lightsabers that exist.
How exactly would that work? Because it needs.
Because it would set it on fire. The actual hilt
Outsidey
itself is wood. And it's probably made like from the Adugon tree.
I don't know.
So you could ultimately choose anything. It's a leaf lightsaber.
A leaf. I don't know. I'd probably just have to go with like a standard one, but I'd probably make it look cool, like a gold trim or something. I don't know.
So something like Sidious's one, because he had a gold trim on his.
Yeah, that would look cool.
Yeah.
Or I've always liked. Whose lightsaber was it? Where it's like it had like edges, like it didn't. It wasn't just like a cylinder. It kind of had like a weird slope thing, like on the the part where the lightsaber actually comes out.
What, like two spikes?
No, it's like a weird. Oh, I don't know what the shape is. It's so odd. It's
Was he dark side or good?
I think it was a dark side.
We're not talking about Dooku, are we?
I think it might actually be Dooku's one.
Because Dooku, he had the bent lightsaber, but then he also had like a small bit of protruding metal that followed the blade.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, no,
so that'd be Dooku's.
Something like Dooku's.
Okay, so basically Sidious with a little bit of metal that follows the purple. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then combat style, I have no idea. I'd just or I'd have a fighting style like Grievous. Where he just spins it. Actually, yeah, no, because like kind of a cross between like if you were to cross Grievous with Force Unleashed, can't remember his name.
Oh,
Starkiller. That's the one. Where he just throws it. Like that's like one of the main things you can do is you just lob it and like it spins around and empowers stuff.
Well, I find that Starkiller took a lot of his fighting style from late Anakin / Darth Vader, because he was obviously taught by Vader. A lot of his are very sweeping movements, which can be seen in Star Wars Episode 5, where he's just wailing on Luke.
Yeah.
There is actually a fighting style there. It's not just sort of...
Or just
like, it was because he had
to
to adapt a new fighting style because of his situation, obviously going from an agile human being to a mechanical monster. So you'd want to go with something between Grievous and Starkiller.
Like kind of not. It's not in my hand a lot. I'm kind of like I'll hold it in front of my hand and it's like shield and like I'm launching it out and stuff. I'm not so much using it as a sword as I am more a projectile. That would be more my kind of thing.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So
that'd be rad.
That's answering Star Wars number 3. So number 4, favourite species?
Ewoks. No. No.
You can have a couple if you like, because I think I had to.
Does the weird like cyborg guys that are Grievous's like bodyguards?
Well, they're not really a race, but okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do they count as a race?
The honor guards.
Because I like those.
Yeah, but they're just a droid, really, aren't they?
Oh, I guess
they're just part of the Trade Federation.
Yeah.
And you don't want to choose the Trade Federation as your favourite race.
No, it's just like I thought they were kind of like a an organism inside a
No.
thing, kind of like what Grievous originally was.
No.
Slowly became.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of lame because I would have said, "Damn, okay, let me try." And think
Which is
one.
ironic, really, because Grievous hated the droids, and you would have thought that his honor guards would have been like a reflection on him.
Yeah.
But no, they're just as they are.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of one. Race. Because I go off more like their weapons and stuff, and their designs more than anything else.
Like when if I were to do the Star Wars questionnaire again, I'd actually change mine to the I think it's pronounced the Mal Calamari, which is the race of the guy who says it's a trap.
Oh, Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar, yeah. Because they have such a exotic story, not only in the 3D Clone Wars animated series, but the 2D one that came up before it, and they just seem really cool.
Oh,
The Mal Calamari.
Calamari. Oh my god. I honestly can't think of a race.
No?
Yeah, I might have to.
You can go with humans if you want, because most of the protagonists in that are humans. So
That's boring.
yeah, but so many of the Star Wars people who've done it have done humans.
I guess so.
'Cause it's just they are the most. Profound
Yeah, I
one
guess
that's
so.
there.
Because they have like there's such a mixing character and stuff because of like Jedi and Sith, and Sith doesn't necessarily have to be human, but it just majority of them seem to be.
Especially later on. Before they were all pure blood Sith, which were red skinned.
Oh,
But when it moved on, they became more human. And Zabarath, which is the race that Darth Maul was.
actually no, I could probably say him because he looks cool.
Or Zabarath.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, Zebra. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Cool.
because those guys look awesome.
They were pretty cool. Okay, so 5, favourite vehicle, which is something that everyone seems to struggle on. Favourite vehicle?
Oh, speeder.
What are we talking about, like the episode 5 snow speeders, or the speeders in episode 6 on Endor?
Episode 6 on Endor.
Yeah.
because I had a model one of those.
They are cool.
I love them because it's just they're just really awesome looking bikes when they're like really long bit at the front and they go stupidly fast. It's just,
God, in Lego Star Wars, they were difficult to drive.
oh yeah, they sucked in that. That was horrible. When I first saw them, I was just like, oh my god, yes. Got on it, was just like, oh, this sucks. This is so lame.
But there's a way that you can. I think there's a way that you can trick that mission if you just go backwards.
Really?
Yeah, because then you could just collect all the gems and stuff.
Oh my god. I think I did that actually.
And in episode
Played Lego Star Wars in so long.
4, when you're doing the trench run, if you flip backwards enough, you actually go past Darth Vader and his TIE fighters, and you can just shoot them all down.
Oh my god. I need to try all this now.
It's good fun.
Yeah, I'd probably say it was speeders or walkers. Probably.
Yeah, well, like the AT-AT walkers.
Yeah, just no, the two-legged ones.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because they've always been cool. They were because I think it's kind of a nostalgia thing because I had models of those specific things and they were just always my favourites. So yeah, those or the little green thing, the weird green car ship thing from, I think it's from episode 1. It might be, or it's either green or red. It's like a weird car. It's like a weird, like this shape, and then it's got like these two things at the back, like engine things.
You're not talking about episode 4's Luke's flip-flop speeder thingy?
No.
I'm really trying to...
Wow.
What scene is it in? Do you remember?
When... I think it's when... I think I might be getting my Star Wars episodes mixed up. Wait, I'm so confused now because like I'm thinking about it in like. Oh no, my head hurts. Like this is
we don't have to come because we've already got 2.
Okay, it's either in 1 or it's in 4, right?
Right.
Okay, because I know that they're driving in it.
Yeah.
And then it parks up on a weird like hillside, and then they look over like.
Yeah, so the flip-flop speeder thing that Luke has.
But it's not Luke's though, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It must be that then, because I can't think of anything else otherwise.
Okay, well then yeah, the flip-flop speeder.
That thing. Then,
okay.
Probably.
Cool.
I pull up alongside of someone at a red light with that, like, hey, or a walker for that matter. You just.
Fair enough. Okay, so if you were a Jedi, what Jedi Master would you have? So that's an existing Jedi Master that's in either the expanded universe or the films, or the books, which is the expanded universe.
Mace Windu.
Yeah, fair enough.
That is literally my answer.
No, that's fair enough. Well, the next question is fairly along the same lines. What would your Sith Master be if you were a Sith?
Probably Maul, because he's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, either Maul or... Is Grievous actually Sith?
No,
He's not Sith.
he doesn't have the Force
Oh, yeah.
because he was originally some warrior species that was leaving his planet to do good to his species, and then got blown up. The Trade Federation found him and fixed him up to look as he does now.
Oh, okay. Then Maul then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Spider Legs Maul.
Spider legs more.
Yeah.
That
definitely.
one scene. Okay, so if you were a Sith, what would your name be? There's no Jedi equivalent to this, so just a Sith.
I don't know.
So remember, not all Sith went by the name of Darth.
Give me some examples of like the beginning parts.
What, like? Well, if you're going to start off with the obvious one, it'd be Darth. But
Yeah.
then some that exist, you've got Revan, Malak, Mulgus, Nihilius. Nihilus. I was saying Nihilius. Sidious. Tyrannus.
Saurus Rex.
Huh?
Darth Tyrannosaurus Rex. I can't think. I'll probably have to go like. God, this is so hard.
I know,
like
it's not an easy one. Because it was easy for me because I'm writing a novel, so I just chose the one.
that one.
It'd be that one. But
I don't know.
it could be anything. Darth Purple.
Darth Purpleton. I'm trying to. There was a Plagueis, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Damn it! I would have gone with that.
Plagueis was the one who taught Sidious.
Because I would have gone with that because it's like I've got a Marvel like character thing.
Yeah.
And he is, and I thought of everything, his backstory and all of it, and he is called Plague.
Oh, nice.
And I would have had that.
Well, you
like,
could go Darth Plague.
yeah, but it's too close to Plagueis. But Darth Plague would have probably been it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough.
If Plagueis didn't exist, I would have been like that. That's my name.
It's going to be that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so favourite movie out of the 6.
Oh, so Christmas special.
That doesn't count. That's like saying the Ewok animated films and the live action films that followed.
Oh, I'd probably say I liked 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 kind of
Yeah, it was
because I don't like how much there's like a lot of fumbling around.
a lot of Jabba's palace.
Yeah, I was just like it's a bit like it was cool. Don't get me wrong, because obviously, but it's like there was just a lot of stuff that just happened. It was a bit whatever. But I'd probably say either 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well this one's fairly predictable, but least favourite movie, which is question 10.
Just like probably not 3 out of like
Yeah,
all of the,
out of the prequels, I'd say 3 was definitely the best.
3 was awesome. I'd probably say
It's between 1 and 2, isn't it?
yeah, it's like neck and neck between 1 and 2. I can
Can
say
I
which
sway
is
you
worse.
with I don't like sand?
Don't like I'd probably say one, because I obviously like my brain is just mush today.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Which one is it that actually has the pod race in it? Is it 1 or 2?
That's 1.
Then probably the 2.
Yeah?
Yeah, because
Okay.
because I actually like the pod race.
No, that's fair enough.
Because it was
Pod race is
because it was
quite
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was like the one redeeming feature of the entire thing. Everything else is just arse.
And once again, they brought in another expanded universe character from that pod race, so that's
cool.
pretty cool. So what? Which is question 11. What would your own Star Wars novel be about if you were to write one?
Ooh.
You don't have to go into massive detail. Just
I'll probably do something similar to the Death Troopers. You know how it was kind of like they brought in like another kind of fiction thing, like a fiction plot thing, like zombies, and then they were like Star Wars.
Star Wars vampires.
I'd probably be like it'd have to be like Oh, I like sort of mystery detective stuff. So it'd probably have to be like kind of like a bounty hunter novel. Like it's like focused around a bounty hunter, and it's kind of like almost like a detective thing.
Bounty Hunter / Sherlock.
Yeah, so something like that. I'd probably say something like or just an outright like bounty hunters
Yeah.
novel. Yeah, no, something focused more around bounty hunter stuff, but it's kind of got like that sort of weird detective-y, like secret-y mystery stuff things written in and out of it. Like if you were to already be a film, it's like a Quentin Tarantino thing, and then put into a book. That's probably what it'd be like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Question 12. What film has the favourite soundtrack for you? And what was that soundtrack?
Which one has Darth Maul in it?
Number 1.
Then that.
Yeah.
Because Jewels of Fate.
Jewel of Fate, yeah.
It's just so... It's always going to be in my head forever.
Yeah.
It's never going to leave.
Strangely enough, even though my favourite film, Star Wars Episode 5, my favourite one would have to be the soundtrack where Luke's fighting Vader in Star Wars Episode 6.
Yeah.
And then where the Emperor starts to electrocute him. Because if you just listen to that audio, just as it is as a soundtrack, you can actually... The way that I listened to it, because I was listening to it while reading the Sith book.
Oh, okay.
So and the more I listen to it, there's more like, I can hear the Siths sort of arming at me.
Like the atmosphere, the entire atmosphere of the Sith
It's
just
all
is
the
in that
Sith
soundtrack.
there. You could. It wasn't just Sidious there; it was all of them.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, that was probably my favourite soundtrack.
That's pretty rad.
Of all of them.
I'd probably have to say one though, because
Yeah.
but Jewels of Fate, because it's just like you can put Jewels of Fate to just like any fight, and it doesn't even have to be Star Wars. Like, I'm pretty sure this is recently, but I was playing Mortal Kombat, and I was playing the story, and we got to a fight that I just could not do, and I've been doing it for ages and ages and ages. And I was playing it with Joel, and we put on the Jewels of Fate theme, and it just made it so much more intense and so much more fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. It just works with everything. So.
I wonder how it would work in the fight between Bane and Batman, because they don't actually have any music in that.
Oh my god, we need to do that. We need to like edit that music over that.
Yeah.
When we go back to college.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
We're doing that.
We're doing that. Question 13. Do you collect figurines?
Star Wars ones, no. I used to. I used to have loads more Star Wars toys when I was younger, but I don't anymore.
No.
I used to always get like any Star Wars toy or figurine or anything like that I had when I was little, but recently no. Definitely no.
Okay. Question 14. What is the best thing about the EU for you? So that would be the expanded universe.
Oh,
Which is so unbelievably... I hated that question because it's like, right, that's not vague at all.
That's like all of it. The expanded universe.
All of it apart from the films. Go.
I'd probably say I still haven't read it yet, but I want to. The Death Troopers thing.
Yeah.
Because that was just cool.
If you're going to read that, read Red Harvest, because that's set before it, but it's along the same story, and I think it explains how Death Troopers comes about.
Okay.
I'm halfway through at the moment.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And question 15, again the opposite. What's the worst thing about the EU for you?
God.
Nah, he's not in it. If he were, though, that would be pretty intense.
It's Jesus. Give me Jesus. I don't know. Probably just nothing specific that has been made, but probably when it's just the fact that the expanded universe. There's like a load of good stuff that came out of it.
Yeah.
Just everything bad.
Everything that's bad about it.
Everything that just got taken the wrong way.
Like Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
the clone of Luke.
That is probably that. He's the king.
I've actually got the books for that.
Oh, Jesus.
It's called the Thrawn trilogy, and I'm
Luke.
Last one. Luke.
It literally sounds as if someone sneezed while they were trying to say Luke.
Or it's one of the Navi from Avatar trying to say it.
Luke. Jake Sully. Jesus.
So yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I probably have to. I don't remember what I actually said about that because I think that was before I found out about Luke.
Oh,
but yeah, I probably if I were to change it, I'd be changing.
Back when times were better, before you knew about that.
And question 16, which is the end of this particular questionnaire. What does Star Wars mean to you? So me, I just sort of exploded.
Future Alex, try and at that point cut in a GIF of an explosion. What's it like? I'd probably say it's something that if you're like friends with someone that is, they don't even have to be like your level of into Star Wars. They could just be like they just really like the series and they can just talk about it. It's just such a popular, well-known like pop culture thing that you can just talk to it. Talk to people about it. It's similar to that of like Marvel and DC. Yeah, it's just if people know about it just enough, you can just have such brilliant like conversations about
it's
like
something that I feel that Star Trek is lacking.
Yeah, definitely
in comparison to Star Wars.
You can't have nearly the amount of conversations you can have about Star Wars as you can with Star Trek. That's for sure. But it's just it's what Star Wars I think brings to the table in nerd conversation. Yeah, like being able to just talk about stuff and to compare things and talk about like fan fiction-y kind of things and what people took from it and went on to make. So everything good about the expanded universe. I think that's what it means to me. Just what it brings to people. Yeah. What it is as a subject to talk about in itself. And the Lego games are awesome. Everything Star Wars Lego is great. Okay. So fair
enough. Okay. So I hope actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep back around and I'm going to come back to what I've actually done is I've written some shorter ones, but I've written my own Star Wars questionnaire.
Oh, okay.
Which is different questions.
Okay.
They're nothing to do with the other ones, but they're different. Some stuff though that's been coming out on some of the more well-known Star Wars YouTube pages. I don't know whether you know about the film that's coming out called Rogue One.
No,
because they're bringing it. They're bringing out short films in between the main films. Okay, and I think the first one's going to be called Rogue One, which is about I think it's a mainly female protagonist about the X-wing pilots.
Okay. What? So are they coming out? What they're coming out as actual films?
Yeah, I believe so.
So they'll be in like cinema and stuff.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But they're doing one in between each.
So it'll be like episode 7 and then a short one.
Yeah, and then episode 8 and so on.
Oh.
But the reason why I bring it up is because I believe they're thinking of bringing back Tarkin.
Tarkin.
Who was the one who was with Vader in episode 4. The Jedi are extinct. Their flame has gone out of the universe. You, my friend, are all that exists of that ancient religion. The one who also... He was the older guy who pretty much held Vader's leash. In fact, Leia said that to him. Governor Tarkin, I thought I'd find you holding Vader's leash.
Oh, he's just one of the, like... He just looks like... He's one of the grey suit guys,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
But the actor who played him is dead.
Right.
So they're going to have to, if they want to bring him back, they're going to have to do the digital thing.
Or some serious rituals and Satanism.
Some serious American Horror Story.
Oh, God.
But yeah, what do you think? I mean, I don't know whether you remember that much about Tarkin or you explored his story. Like, I have the novel of Tarkin, but...
No. I didn't even know he was such a big character in...
I mean, he is one of the few novels that are still canon in the Star Wars universe.
Jesus. I thought he was just like a bod. You know those characters that are just in it.
No, he was big. In fact, he was actually more prominent than Vader at some points.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he was the Emperor's right-hand man.
Oh, jeez, okay.
Even though the Emperor had plans to kill him off.
The Emperor had plans to kill everyone.
Yeah.
It's like he was gonna like Vader. Like he was like
But yeah, the Emperor did. Granted, but Tarkin even had a few appearances in the Clone Wars series.
Yeah.
So
I honestly didn't know that.
Yeah, so Tarkin may be coming back in Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know how I feel about it because I think it's meant to be set between Star Wars Episode 4 and 5. I'm not too sure.
Rogue One.
Yeah, because Vader's coming back in it.
Oh, okay. So that's really bizarre. Because why would they'd be like spend all this time making a brand new Star Wars and then just be like, oh, okay, we're gonna make this thing, but it's not like it's even setting up for the next film.
Yeah, I know, but
it's something that happened all the way back in like the old ones.
But if you're taking the same approach, sorry, that was 2 words in one. If you're taking the same approach as Paris is with Star Wars, she's going from Star Wars Episode 1 to 6.
She's watching the prequels first.
Yeah.
Oh, God rest her soul.
She's already got through them all. She's now got to do Star Wars 6. But
is she dead? She's just completely corrupt.
I don't think she enjoyed them in the slightest, to be honest with you.
I don't blame her.
But but then she's got this jump between Star Wars Episode 3 and 4 where it's like, oh, they're rebels now and they're kind of established in the universe, but we have no story. And I'm guessing this is what is...
Plays Force Unleashed. That kind of sets the tone.
Yeah, but is Force Unleashed canon anymore?
Yes, it is. Of course it is. It's J.J. Abrams can shove it up his bum. It's everything. Everything expanded universe is canon so long as it came and had some connection to...
Yeah. But what I'm
the
worrying
original source material.
is what he's going to do now is just... I laugh if right at the beginning he just had Luke say, Revan doesn't exist, to the end.
He just walks... No, it's literally just like a red curtain. And like you get like 3 of the actors just randomly selected from Star Wars just come out and they're like, okay, Revan doesn't exist. Everything in the expanded universe is absolutely just non-existent. There was no Christmas special. I didn't do that.
And Jar Jar is king of the world.
And the only thing that is still canon and you will see everywhere in this movie is Jar Jar Binks. Remember that black guy that was in the clone uniform? He's Jar Jar now.
Strangely enough, the guy who was actually in the Jar Jar suit was black as well.
Wow.
It could be him.
What if it actually was? That'd be amazing.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
But, so yeah, they may be bringing back Tarkin in Rogue One. I don't know much information about Rogue One because obviously I'm focusing on Star Wars 7 coming out first. But Rogue One I'll be focusing on a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so something that was speculated on, it's never been announced, but it's been speculated on by fans for ages, ever since Star Wars Episode 3 came out.
Okay.
Is Mace Windu coming back? And if so, are they going to bring him back for Star Wars Rebels?
Because he got killed so just like abruptly. Something
that I focused on because there was a video that speculated on it and I put a comment on it and this is what I said. When Mace Windu gets his hand cut off by Anakin, it actually cuts to his lightsaber falling out of the Senate Tower.
Yeah.
Now why? Because when Luke is fighting Vader, cuts off his hand and he discards his lightsaber, and as far as we know, it falls down the Death Star tube.
Yeah.
He doesn't even cut to it.
It's just gone.
It's gone. You don't actually. You just see it sort of going. Whoop. There's no cut to it. It may just be sloppy editing, but I don't know. If I feel like there's a story still to be told, it may not just be. It may
thrown out.
Yeah, it may not be about Mace, but it may be about his lightsaber. I mean, Mace is meant to be one of the most powerful Jedi. He survived. You know, obviously getting his hand cut off. That's a thing.
I've got a feeling he probably like force leap.
Yeah,
like before he hit the ground, so that he didn't die.
I mean, something else that I speculated on is that George Lucas had so many ideas that he never got to put into the film after he resigned out of it, just saying that I've got nothing to do with it. All I'm doing now is Rebels and Clone Wars, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if he's doing Rebels, but so maybe there's still a story to be told there about.
I'd like to think so because Mace Windu is like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he was just cool.
He was cool.
He had like this. Like, yeah, he was one of these kind of leaning towards more like the Dark Jedi, wasn't he?
Yeah,
because he wasn't exactly like full on with like like Qui-Gon and all this stuff. It wasn't the same mindset as them. He didn't work the same. He was very disconnected from everybody.
And his fighting style, which I believe is Degenso, but
I could not like correct you at all. That's like a whole other level that I do not know about.
I think it's Sheen and Degenso, but it's basically the closest you can come to letting yourself into the dark side without being consumed by it, and it's a lot of vigorous and sort of emotionally driven attacks.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something that Mace did quite a lot.
Huh. Okay.
So he was quite close. Anyway, I think the general rule of hand is that anyone who wields a purple lightsaber, they are the closest to the dark side of the Jedi Order that you can get.
Oh, okay.
Without actually falling into it.
Which then makes sense why in that fan film that we just watched, he had a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, Revan. I mean, Revan actually wielded 3 lightsabers during his time. He wielded red, green, and purple.
Oh.
So yeah. He may have also wielded blue, actually, in his very early training of Jedi stuff.
Isn't Blue a like Padawan?
Yeah, but then remember when you saw the Padawans in episode 2, they were
had
green and blue.
Yeah.
So blue is the Jedi Knight and green is the more force sensitive.
Mr. Skywalker.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
It'd be so awesome if the actual like thing that was written for that scene was all of the younglings. They just swarm him.
He just walks out and he's got like a black eye and he's losing an arm. It's just blood dripping out. Wow, I really underestimated that.
It's like what happens to him on what's the lava planet that they end on?
Mustafar.
That's the one where he's got missing an arm, missing. Is he missing a leg at that point as well?
What, when Obi-Wan cuts him?
Yeah, when he's like on fire.
He actually loses both his legs and his one flesh arm.
Oh yeah,
he's still got his robot arm. He loses the rest of his limbs.
Imagine, the scene where he's like crawling away and he's like on fire and stuff. Imagine exactly the same thing that he's doing there, but he's doing that out of the like
out the temple.
The temple.
Just going down the stairs like ow.
And then I can only ever remember Qui-Gon because that's like what I always remember from the prequels, and then it's Obi-Wan. That's it. I always forget Obi-Wan's name. Like that's the one Jedi I'll always forget his name. He's just like stood like on top of like a lamppost outside of the temple. He's like, I have the high ground. He's just like crawling away. No, Sidious just swoops in like, yoink! Sayonara! Like, I was just about to make a very offensive thing. You would have had to have beeped that, but if I did. It's just like, he's like weird ship with the weird foldy wings.
Yeah.
He's like leaning out the side of it, just like flipping the bird like 1,000 times. Oh, jeez.
Wow. So yeah, that's the possibility that Mace may kind of maybe not be coming back, but who knows?
I hope he does.
And there's been a lot of talk about an upcoming possibility of an Obi-Wan Kenobi film or films. Ooh. Which is set in between episode 3 and episode 4. My problem, and I share it with another one, I think it may have been Machinima that came up with this problem, but it's just going to be a film of him peeking around a trash can or a womp rat. And it's just sort of like, is Luke ready yet? No. Yeah, okay.
But it's just him always just following Luke around to see, like, he's like, yeah.
It's just going to re-edit episode 4, like right at the end, where he's walking up to the jar and he's just creeping up behind him.
Oh my god. That would be brilliant. It's just fun. Literally, it's like a whole other like trilogy of films. And it's just him following him around.
Yeah,
that's like all it is.
Well, I just can't. I mean, the thing is, in the expanded universe, there was a lot more that happened in between those 2 points. But obviously, with it being taken down, you can't have that anymore.
No.
I mean, he actually comes across one of the greatest Siths. I know I say that a lot. One of the greatest Siths of all time of that period, Darth Kriyt, who was originally a sand person.
Oh.
Had contacts with Anakin. His second contact with Anakin was great because it was pretty much immediately after his mother died. So it was just like, sand person, Jedi, you mother. I didn't kill them all.
God.
But then he actually outlives Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
And he's way into the sort of Skywalker family tree and meets all the others. But during the point where he meets Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan has this problem with just cutting off limbs but not killing people.
Yeah.
Haven't you found that?
Yeah.
I mean, he does it on Mustafar, does it to Grievous, does it to that guy in the cantina in Mos Eisley.
He says he doesn't like you.
But he also does it to Darth Kriyt. I think he cuts off one of his hands during that duel. And he actually lets him live.
He just cuts off people's like...
Yeah, he just...
That's worse than killing them.
I mean, but he pretty much does it to Grievous. He cuts off 2 of his hands before he actually finally ends him.
I think he's like the only one he actually kills.
There are no actual legitimate Obi-Wan kills.
There aren't actually. Wait.
Well, no, because he cuts Darth Maul in half, but you can technically say sever the upper half and the lower half. There's no death there.
Spider-Maul.
He's
not actually dead. Like...
Yeah, so I don't know what people feel about an Obi-Wan film. I just feel like it's going to be the whole peeking around the trash can thing.
It would be so weird. It would. I don't know if they manage to actually do it and it's good, then great. Like, but I have no idea what perspective the film would be.
Oh, imagine if they did it in the form of a District 9 sort of documentary where it's just Obi-Wan sitting. It's just like a Ben Kenobi written at the bottom. It's just like, I mean, my Padawan killed all my friends, and there was this old wrinkly dude. He took over everything somehow. Yeah. For the old powerful Jedi, we really overlooked that one. And now I'm a hermit watching this guy who's meant to be the chosen one, but we all know how that went last time. Yeah. So, actually, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, if it was...
That would be such an awesome opening to the movie, and then they just cut away from it and they never mention it ever again. It's just, okay.
Because there was talk that Ewan McGregor would come back to play Obi-Wan for these films.
Oh, okay.
So it would be pretty much immediately after he's delivered the babies. Delivered the baby because he only delivers Luke. He doesn't deliver Leia.
Oh,
right at the end of Star Wars Episode 3.
Yeah.
And they do the sort of stand on the thing watching the sunset. And he probably has to make the most uncomfortable journey back by himself on that weird sort of... Well, he wasn't even in a snow speeder or a speeder. He was on that weird sort of camel thing.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, when they shot that, because he was talking about it when he did a Top Gear episode, I believe it was in the interview thing for that, and apparently he was just on a green box, and the director was just yelling at him, "Look at the moons!
Look at the moons! Where are the moons? They haven't been CGI'd into reality yet. What is this?"
So yeah, that's apparently how he did.
Oh, okay.
That last scene.
I didn't even know he was on Top Gear. I thought he watched like every Top Gear ever.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor was on Top Gear.
A slight deviating from the subject.
Yeah,
what is your favourite, like when they do Top Gear episodes where it's like they just do like a challenge and they go to like a country or whatever.
Yeah,
what was your favourite one?
Ooh. I'd have to say, I can't remember which country it was, but it was the one where they bought Hammer, the Spanish galleon, and then they eventually had to make their bikes into amphibious bikes.
Oh, that's one of the... No, I know exactly what it begins with a B, because there was like 3 ones that began with a B in a row.
Yeah, or the one where they build the bridge over the River Cock.
Oh, God. We're actually building a bridge over the River Cock. That was brilliant. No, I like the Chernobyl one. The one where they went through Russia, and it was like the last person to get to Chernobyl has to drive all the way through it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was brilliant. And it ended up being Clarkson, and he was just like, I am going to get irradiated and die. Because it's like all of his like windows were just like broken.
Yeah.
Like he had like terrible ventilation in his car and everything. So it was just like, just driving through it like, I'm going to be dead. I'm actually going to die.
This is going to happen.
This is the end.
This is the end. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing about Obi-Wan.
Sweet.
Moving on, did you watch any of the Clone Wars episodes when they were on?
I have barely watched any Clone Wars.
Did you ever see a bounty hunter called Cad Bane, who was blue of skin and wore a really cool hat? Sort of like a Van Helsing style hat. No. Okay, well there's talk that he'll be back in Rogue One along with Tarkin.
Okay.
I'm really happy about that. I think you'd really like Cad Bane.
I probably should watch Clone Wars because my friend watches it and he says they were really good.
Yeah.
Because he's looking forward to watching Rebels. I'm like, I never watched that. Once it turned into cartoons and stuff, I never started watching them.
No, you'd definitely enjoy it. And Cad Bane had so many sort of fall in with the Jedi. In fact, there was a whole 3 episodes where he actually worked with Obi-Wan.
Oh.
Because Obi-Wan, and I hope you don't mind any spoilers to you. Or?
It's fine.
No. Obi-Wan had tricked the entire Jedi Council by framing up his own death. It's really weird to watch the episode for the first time because they actually do the whole funeral and everything. It's like, what? What about 3 and 4 and all that stuff?
But he's dead. He was a ghost the whole time.
Yeah.
He was just not even
double
there.
Obi-Wan ghost.
Oh, right. Okay. Here's something that I've never, ever been able to figure out.
Yeah.
My entire life.
Okay, well, Star Wars stuff. Hit me with it.
When Darth Vader kills Obi-Wan, how does he just disappear?
He transforms the physical plane and becomes a Force spirit.
Like in a second.
In a second. He's that powerful. I mean, the argument is that why doesn't Qui-Gon do that when he gets killed by Maul? But he eventually transforms the physical plane. I think there's sort of like a 2-street thing where your spirit has to do it if you're not that powerful, or if you're powerful enough, it's just like, boop, Force ghost.
Because it's literally because I always used to think that's what happened if you actually get hit by a lightsaber. Like when I first watched it when I was a kid, like it was the first time I'd seen someone get killed by the lightsaber, like properly. So it was just like, oh my god, it's Darth Vader. Like thinking Darth Vader's like crazy powerful and stuff. He's just like, vroom, and he just disappears. It's like he's so powerful.
Darth Vader punches you out of existence.
He just vaporizes you, and it's like, oh my god.
But did you know that? I don't know which version of that you saw. I'm guessing you saw the re-edited one. Did you see the one where it just hit the cloak and it fell to the ground?
Yeah.
The original one, and I've been told this differently. I think the way I was told it was incorrect, but I've seen the behind the scenes. Yeah. When he slashes it, the cloak actually bursts into flames, slices in half, and then falls to the ground. But apparently it was too graphic.
That would make more sense, because I've seen the one where he literally just like taps him and then it's
it just falls to the ground with his lightsaber. And
my dad could never figure that out either. He's just like, what happens to him? And I'm like, I don't know.
He transforms the physical plane, because he actually says openly to Darth Vader, if you strike me down now, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine, which is him.
That quote's from Star Wars. Yeah. That quote's been reused. I never knew that was a Star Wars quote. It's like, if you strike me down now, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, that
I think I said that to my mum once. I'm pretty sure I did.
Adam, clean your room now. If you strike me down
I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Oh boy.
Wow. But yeah, so that quite
11-year-old me.
So yeah, that's what happens when if you're powerful enough, you transform the physical plane.
You can just do it like.
Yeah, because that's what happens to Yoda. Because when Yoda dies.
Yeah, but it's like really slow, and you're like, oh yeah, he's like it's like whatever, but he's just like.
Yeah, but it's because lightsaber through the abdomen or whatever.
He just poofs himself.
That he wouldn't die slowly from that. It's like chop him in half. It's like
yeah, but it's not like he got cut in half and then was like. It's literally like the lightsaber taps him and he's like gone. It was just so confusing.
Maybe he really didn't want to be around for the rise of the Empire. It's just like,
I can see where this is going.
He secretly took cyanide just before, just bit down the capsule just as Darth Vader was.
Oh god, have you ever played Mortal Kombat 9?
No.
Oh right, there's like the whole story is
everyone
dies, everyone becomes zombies, and what they call the rare. I think they're actually called like the Revenant or something. It sounds like Star Wars. But they're like the reanimated ones that then work for like Quan Chi and Shao Kahn and stuff.
Okay.
And it's just like it's like showing everyone's just dead. Like Sonya Blade's dead, Johnny Cage is dead, Liu Kang's dead, Kung Lao's dead. Everyone's dead. All of them are dead. Leading up to like Shao Kahn is fighting old Raiden, like old Raiden, who's like the god of lightning, and he's like the protector of Earthrealm and stuff. And Shao Kahn is just about to kill him, and he sends projections back in time to his younger self so that he knows what happens.
Yeah.
And then he's like, right, I need to like prevent this and be able to get Liu Kang to defeat Shao Kahn. He's like the only one that will be able to defeat him. And I like to imagine that's what happened with Obi-Wan. He got projections of where the Star Wars movies like were gonna end up. Yeah. Like, and he was just like, well.
Do you think he got that just as Anakin said to like really young Anakin, where he said, "What's gonna happen to me now? I'm gonna train you. You will become a Jedi. I promise."
But that's really weird though, because it's like he's sending them to himself in the past.
Yeah.
But that's him in the future. It's just like
paradox. Yeah.
It's like he transcended his universe to send them to the mind of. Right. Okay. So who is because it's Sean Bean, isn't it? No, it's not Sean Bean. I'm being an idiot. Who is it that plays
Obi-Wan?
Oh no,
are we still talking about Star Wars? Or?
Wait, yeah, no, I'm still talking about Star Wars. Wait, so Obi-Wan is played by
Ewan McGregor,
but then who's Qui-Gon played by?
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I got confused for a second. So Ewan McGregor, he transcends his universe to send the thoughts to Ewan McGregor, which will then from Ewan McGregor go then back into his own dimension and then go back to whoever the actor was that originally played Obi-Wan Kenobi, old Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then that's when he disappeared out of reality. That was so confusing. My brain hurts.
Oh my god. Okay, before we destroy the universe,
I'm bleeding from
just move on to the what ifs. Okay, something I want to quickly go into before we do the secondary question and then wrap this up. I showed you a trailer which was shown on Instagram for Star Wars Episode 7, and it showed 4 shots. It showed I think it's the First Order. I'm going to have to really look into this, but this is like the new Empire. Then it showed one of our protagonists with BB-8, who's the little droid. The reuse shot from the first trailer, and then the guy with the blue lightsaber, which is Luke's old lightsaber.
Like a couple seconds after that from the original trailer.
But in the first shot, they actually had, in the background, they had what looked like a new AT-AT. Okay. But it's basically exactly the same as the old AT-AT, except it has sort of like a tortoise back.
That looks like a pigoo.
And it doesn't actually have a head. Its guns are built into where the neck should be.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I don't know whether they thought of that as a vulnerable point in the old AT-AT design.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah, that is one of the things that people have pointed out.
We'll make another AT-AT, but we'll put more guns on it.
Maybe they should sort out the legs, because I think that was the vulnerable point.
Yeah. They should make it like what happened with one of like updated Daleks. Where it's like you could just, they could go upstairs and you could just push them over. It's like now they can hover.
It's just like the AT-ATs jump and they fold up their legs.
Yeah, if they get like knocked over and they're like all hunched up and tied up again. They have like rockets in their feet, so it's like they just slide along.
That'd be the most menacing thing in the world. Jesus,
it's just flying at you, just like.
Oh my god, that wouldn't be stable though. It would just be like that scene in Iron Man 1 where Iron Man takes off and he's all majestic, and then the other guy takes off. It's like the slowest takeoff ever.
That'd be so good.
Oh my god. But yeah, so that's the new AT-AT design. Something I wanted to speculate on, because it's been brought up in Star Wars EU, even though that doesn't count anymore. Do you think the Emperor is dead? This isn't Vitiate, this is Sidious. Our known Emperor.
No, because he got thrown down into that thing and then he exploded into lightning.
Yeah, but you could say he transformed the physical plane as a Sith would.
Yeah.
And became like a Sith spirit.
Doesn't that technically... Well, no, because then he could end up like... What's his face?
Nihilus.
Yeah, he could end up like him.
And in the expanded universe, he does actually become a Force spirit. And I hate it when they do this in films where it's like, secretly he had a genetic laboratory full of clones and stuff, and he put his body into his spirit into, but that is actually how they wrote it in. And then Luke turned to the dark side, which was weird. But yeah,
I'd probably maybe they're gonna do something like that. Maybe they're just gonna be like, no, he is actually dead.
He's legit. I mean,
or they're gonna be like, yeah, he's like Nargus. And he's
if you follow Family Guy, Star Wars Episode 6, where he just hits the windscreen in the Millennium Falcon. But yeah, so I'd like to think he's still alive, because he was. It just seems such a shame, because he did so much work to get where he was, just manipulating the whole of the Senate, the whole of the Jedi Council, in order to then take control.
You're looking at that from this point of view of like someone who roots for the bad guy.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is like, yeah, he's dead,
finally.
And then everyone, when he comes back, everyone's be like, no, you'll be the one guy that's like, yes.
I knew it. Sweet. I just put out my hood and said, yeah.
Do it. Don't kill him.
Your hate has made you powerful. Oh god, yeah. But yeah, I'd like to think he's back, but I think it's still up to speculation. Okay, so I'm going to move on, if that's all right, to my own Star Wars questionnaire, which hopefully should be a little bit shorter than the last one.
Okay.
Question number 1: who is your favourite Sith?
My favourite Sith?
Yes. This can be expanded universe too. Even I don't care if it's not real, JJ.
Now that I know that I like that. I know about that Nargus guy. He's spooky.
Yeah, he is.
And I like the fact because he's meant to be evil and he looks spooky.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah. Cool.
He just looks rad.
Okay, so going for the opposites again. Who's your favorite Jedi?
Oh, Mace.
Yeah,
Mace.
Mace.
Yeah.
Okay, that may change if I ever show you the guy who's meant to be one of the most powerful, who was in episode 1.
The guy that was in the podcast thing.
He falls in love with Ventress. I've got the book and I'm going to.
No, you have showed me this before,
I have.
but I have just completely forgotten what he looks like.
He's tanned. He looks like a human male, but he's not actually human, and he has a yellow streak of paint across his eyes.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell.
Yeah, green lightsaber. Anyway, and I believe he was actually part of Count Dooku's original Sith Order.
Oh, okay.
He was with Dooku, and then I think he turned to the Jedi, and then he became sort of like a bounty hunter in a way when Order 66 was issued. I think that's how it worked. I'd have to look into that.
66.
And then he fell in love with Ventress, which I'm annoyed with because Ventress was meant to be mine.
Ventress is your like OC's love interest, you creepy weirdo.
I can't help it.
That
she's
picture
amazing.
still haunts me to this day. I'm like, what the hell do you do?
I don't care. Ventress is great.
When you saw that Ventress cosplayer at Comic-Con, that was mad. You just like drop everything. I need this. That was so funny.
Yeah, but she was pretty damn cool. Anyway, what lightsaber would you like to see in the new films? So there's gonna be color, like a whole new one, like a lightsaber battle axe. I know that I think you've speculated on this before.
A pink one. It's gonna come up in like every podcast from now on. At least one.
Seriously?
No.
I know you'd love to see my reaction in the cinema, just sort of like gripping the chair.
If someone has a pink lightsaber, you'd be like, what? No. I don't know. A lightsaber axe would be cool, but do you remember my idea for a lightsaber gauntlet?
Yeah.
Where it's like the equivalent of the handle of the actual lightsaber like sword thing is. It's like a thing that goes in your hand and over it, and then the lightsaber thing is like a coating that goes around your arm, like to about up halfway up your forearm, so that then you punch stuff. That would be cool.
Very similar to what Plo Koon had. He had a lightsaber gauntlet, except instead of encasing the gauntlet, it was two blades that came out of.
Oh, kind of like the sword from Halo.
Yeah, like the energy sword.
That's awesome.
But instead of just being something that you could throw away, it was. I'm guessing it was. I'd love it if it were a clench thing.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like.
and it's just like it coats your hand in like whatever the color is.
Yeah.
So
not pink.
So you know the not pink. You know the there's a pair of gauntlets and a pair of boots in Destiny that are similar to this. Like they have the holographic thing that kind of floats over the top of it.
Yeah.
You know that kind of look of it, but it kind of comes up and it coats over in like parts.
Yeah.
But it's like it makes up like a whole thing, and they could be like spiked or whatever. It's just like you punch stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Me personally, I'd like to see the return of the Night Sisters' light bow and arrows.
I thought you said a bow, yeah. They actually were rad. They were awesome.
Very cool.
There's something. There's a game that I play called Risk of Rain where there's something like that in it. It's like a whole energy bow beam thing that looked exactly like what
The Night Sisters had.
Yeah, because I saw fan art of it. Because the actual game is like tiny little sprites, but then the fan art of it looks exactly like that.
I don't know whether you knew this, but the Zeberath, which is the race that you said you liked, they're the male sort of offspring of the Night Sisters. Because the Night Sisters, they are the superior, and the men are just sort of like the sex slaves of their universe.
That's a little bit weird. Okay, then.
Because they're just used for mating and being their personal sort of warriors. That's all. The Night Sisters are superior.
They're kind of like
to...
bees.
Yeah, there is a queen bee, but imagine a lot of them. There's one superior one who is like the sister of sisters, and then you've got the warriors of the Night Sisters, and then you've got the Zeberax, who are the males, who are way, way down the spectrum.
Way, way down.
Way down. Anyway, so that would be the lightsaber that you want to see, a lightsaber encased gauntlet.
That would be cool.
Okay, so question 4. What planet would you like to see in the new films? Again, expanded universe or new film or old films if you want to see a return. I mean, you can see Endor again if you like.
That'd be kind of cool. If there's like a reference to Endor, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Oh, it'd be really awesome if they like went back to Hoth or something, and it's like there's like a giant civilization there and stuff now.
I mean, that's the thing, because maybe because technically the Empire did conquer Hoth. Maybe that's where the First Order is, because in the trailer it is a snowy planet that they're on.
Yeah.
So maybe that is Hoth.
There's like a huge civilization on Hoth now or something.
Yeah, just a huge imperial
like
base that didn't come to help them in Episode 6.
Nope.
You're already lost.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, refresh my memory again. Is 7 going to be set after
Episode 6?
So it's literally in
30 years after Episode 6.
Okay. Yeah. No. Definitely. Definitely.
Where Carrie Fisher should never, ever again be seen in the gold bikini ever. I'm just saying that's a law. That's something that should be enforced.
Because it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, it was cool then. It's not cool, but it'll definitely be crusty now.
Oh, Jesus.
No one wants to see that.
Jabba's weird butthole, right?
How long it took me to convince you that?
Yeah, because I was just like, no, and then you were like, no, seriously, I'll find the footage, and you did, and it was disgusting. That was horrible.
But yeah, I mean, it can come out and stuff, but I'm guessing it feels snug as a bug in a rug.
Snug as a bug in your bum.
It's pretty messed up.
That was, yeah.
So yeah, favorite planet you want to see in the film. So question 5, favorite force power.
Oh, I'd even say like just being able to like force push stuff, just like boom.
Yeah,
that like just the impact thing is cool. Yeah.
I'd have to say for me personally it'd be the shatter point effect, which is something that Mace Windu had, where he could not only find the weak point of something and then shatter it. Like for example in the Clone Wars, there's a crashed ship and there's a clone trapped in the pod. All he has to do is just run over, put his hand on it, shatters the glass. Oh. But he can also determine the weaknesses of certain structures.
That's pretty cool.
So it's more of a, if you're leading a big force, it's just sort of like this big triangle ship with this tiny ickle bridge on top that anything could just slice straight through. That might be a weakness.
Yeah, even though
we may want to fix that.
Blaringly obvious. That was such a stupid.
Oh my god, the Super Star Destroyer, when it was just that little bridge that controlled the entire city.
Why didn't that shouldn't have been like there? So imagine the flat of this table. So like that is like the Star Destroyer from like front to back.
Yeah.
And then the bridge is like there, like above it.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it in it?
That's the thing.
Why was it like down?
That's the thing.
In it, on it, like.
That's the thing.
No little neck thing that we can cut off.
That's the thing.
It crashes.
In Star Wars: The Old Republic, I believe the Sith carriers, or the old Empire back then, that's how they were. So why? It's just that Star Wars thing where technology goes backwards.
Yeah, it really does. It's so stupid.
But okay, so that's your favorite force power. Favorite quote. So this can be Expanded Universe, or mine would have to be the Sith Code. But
there's a quote that I have the high ground. It's something that I just use. I use in everything. If I'm doing some kind of like PvP or something like that in any game, I will always be like, I have the high ground. I did it when I was playing GTA. I was running up a hill. And all of my friends were like at the bottom of the hill, and they were like trying to snipe me and shoot me and throw stuff at me. And I was just like, "You can't defeat me! I have the high ground!" And I was just using a musket to just blast them apart. It was amazing.
I just have this image of you if you were using it in a moral sense. If you, for whatever reason you got told off at college, you just stand on top of a chair. It's over. I have the high ground. Oh wow!
I will try and use that at some point at college.
That'd be great. Maybe not when we have an invigilator, but
No, that would be a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay, so question 7: favorite video game from Star Wars. I'm guessing you're gonna go with the Lego ones.
Either the Star Wars Lego trilogy, so like all of them together,
combined.
Or Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah,
because Force Unleashed 2 was awesome. Force Unleashed 1 was just so janky, but Force Unleashed 2 was sick.
I don't know whether you ever played Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the Lego game, but they actually brought out a new feature where they have a strategy battlefield Lego game, which you have in between the campaign missions, where you actually control, like you can still wander around the battlefield and stuff, but you can build buildings that then spawn troops that you can then lead into certain...
So kind of like Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh no, but when Battlefront comes out, that's going to be my new favourite. No, I've seen actual game footage from it.
Yeah, so have I.
It looks amazing. It looks so good. Like, you can... Like, I've seen... There's like a battle on Hoth, and you can actually take down an AT-AT.
Yeah, but you can do that in Battlefront 2.
But this looks cooler.
You can't...
The way the snow actually, like, spreads out when it, like, hits the ground is so awesome.
But...
It just looks so... It's basically Battlefront if you made it look better.
But I think the AT-AT is on rails. Like, you can't drive. You can't drive it.
You can move around.
You can go in it, but it's moving where it wants to go.
Really?
Yeah.
But why would you be able to take it down if it like?
Because it can call in airstrikes.
Going it looks awesome. Battlefront looks amazing.
Okay.
Now I've actually seen gameplay of it.
I'm just not happy that Luke's in his episode 6 outfit when it's episode 5 Battlefield.
That's a good point.
But other than that, okay, I guess so.
It just looks cool.
Okay. Least favorite quote. Yeah, so least favorite quote. I should probably have done that after favorite.
Least favorite quote.
Mine would have to be the sand one.
What just?
No. The whole I don't like sand.
I don't like sand.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
That would be like one of my favourites because it's just stupid.
The annoying thing is it works. I'm tempted to go to the pub this evening and see if I can pick up any women like that. Just sort of slide along. I don't like sand.
I don't like sand.
How am I looking now?
No, my least favourite quote is the quote from the fourth Sandman. No. No, I'd probably say anything Jar Jar has ever said.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Anything where for the planet core.
Anything that starts with the words Misa.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he actually dies at some point.
Well, yeah, he's going to have to, but
yeah.
You've seen that deleted scene, haven't you, where it goes over? It's so satisfying.
Why didn't it get kept in?
I know. But then they wouldn't have had him to just spread untold agony.
It would have been so much better if he died as well, because he's not even as if, like... He's like... Anyone that liked him would have been more driven for the Jedis to win.
Yeah.
Because now that he's died, they're like, no, one of the really... The quote-unquote... cute like comedy relief character is dead, so they're like, shh, we actually wanted to win now.
And did you know that there was once an episode where Jar Jar pretended to be a Jedi of the Clone Wars?
Really?
And did you also know that there's actually an episode of the Clone Wars where they openly say, yeah, there's a Gungan Jedi?
Oh no, yeah, there is definitely going to be a Gungan Jedi, because I mean, like, there's a Jedi of most races, but
that one race where it's just like, yeah, there's never going to be a Jedi. Just...
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Anything that starts with the words Misa.
Yeah.
That's just I hate.
Okay. Character you want to explore more. So maybe one that you want to... maybe one that you'd feel you'd want to explore more by going onto things like Wikipedia. Things that you don't know about but you're interested in.
Probably... I don't know. I want to find out more about, like, Revan and... that spooky guy.
Nihilus. Revan's very cool. His story's great. People say that the book of his is like the worst of the expanded universe, but I say it's one of the best.
Oh, okay.
I have this really terrible thing where I'll go with the wrong thing of a good series. Like, for example, I'm really scared that I'm going to like Avatar, the film. Like,
wait, what?
The Last Airbender? Yeah.
Oh, no, you won't. No.
We don't know this.
No, you won't. It's impossible. It's actually
if I do, I'll make a video.
This is. I have the exact same thing with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
From about 13 onwards, because I own Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
And I really liked Final Fantasy and what it was like, but I never played it up until when 13 came out. And I thought, okay, I'll start with 13 because it's on PS3 and I've got a PS3. I'll get that, and then I'll work my way back and get the ones on PS2 and stuff, and then get the ones after it. I played it, and I hate it.
Yeah,
it's so bad. I was just like, I can't play this game. But my friend, who's like really into all like kind of your typical shoujin anime and everything, and like Power Rangers and any anime where it's like there's fighting and sword and sparkly lights and all this kind of crap. He loves all that stuff, so he was like, "Oh yeah, Final Fantasy." I thought it was really cool because like it's like fits in with that genre of stuff that he likes. So I was like, "Oh yeah, you can borrow it," and I was like, "I'll make you even a deal, even with that." I was like, "You can borrow that game, and if you like it, you can keep it. If you hate it, give it back to me, and I'm going to either sell it or burn it. And probably burn it. I'll get more satisfaction out of it because I'll probably only get about 50p if I give it to game." Yeah. So it's just that, and I feel exactly the same about Last Airbender. There is no way you will like that movie. Okay. Because it's the first. I think it's the first book. Yeah, the first book. Okay. Crammed into one. It's so bad.
Anyway, we'll keep an eye on the YouTube channel just in case it says I actually like Avatar.
Jesus.
Oh no. Okay, so we've done character. So question 10: what do you want to see in the new films?
I don't know.
Could be anything. Please don't say terrible love banter like Anakin and Padme had.
No.
You're so
Just loads
beautiful.
of no politics, loads of fights, but cool story.
Yeah.
That.
Okay.
Because I hate the politics in that movie.
Okay.
As much as I know you loved them.
Well, it's only because I like to explore the stuff behind the wars. So
Yeah, I
it's
know.
useful to me.
That was but I mean, if they did the exact same thing, but they shortened it like the tiniest bit, then I would have.
I call this session to order. Bang!
I call this session to order. Bad stuff's happening. Go
fix it.
Go do.
Question 11. What's your favourite Star Wars spoof?
Star Wars spoof.
So Robot Chicken, Family Guy.
Oh, I'd prefer Robot Chicken.
Yeah?
Because it's just so much more stupid.
So you say that's your top one?
I'm trying to think of the escalator. Scene.
Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper.
Okay, you're saying this,
Stormtrooper.
but I'm going to send you something that I think you'll love. It's a Australian spoof of Star Wars. It's not of a particular episode, it's of a whole new premise.
Okay.
And instead of the Force, well, the Force still exists, but instead of that being like the main aim and stuff, like there's the dark organisation that steals all the alcohol.
What the hell?
From pubs. And they launched an entire invasion on the dark side because they stole all their alcohol.
Okay, yeah, I need to watch that.
And they've all got outrageously strong accents.
Oh, that's brilliant. No, yeah, I need to.
And
I need to watch that.
It's bloody cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend watching that. Like the droid that he has is a floaty red R2D2 head, and when he comes out of the ship, he actually like spawns a little antenna and it has corks on it. So good, and the graphics are amazing. So yeah,
you're gonna need to watch that definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so things that Star Wars should never have done. So mainly the films. Things that they should never have done. Maybe not cover Jar Jar. So anything other.
Yeah,
anything other than Jar Jar.
I was gonna say because that's really obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, for the sake of others, not that I was bothered by this, but for the sake of others, I'd probably say the Midichlorians. And if people hate that, they'll be happy to know that that's not coming back in the new films. That's been announced officially by JJ. That's not coming back.
Yeah, that. Because that was really stupid because I always thought the Force was just the Force. It's like, you have it. That's it. There is no...
Yeah, but it kind of justified it because it's sort of like, oh, so everyone has the potential for it? And now they sort of said, no, not really, because then there's some... You have like... You have a birth sheet and it's sort of like age and stuff and it's like, ooh, Midichlorian count. 1 million! I must be Yoda.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just should be, if you're born with it, you're born with it. If you're not, you're not. And that's it. There's no like organism that is it. The Force is just the Force. It's like the mainstay thing of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's like,
and some people have a deeper connection with it.
Kind of like in Avatar, it's like some people are born to be able to bend the elements. Some people aren't.
Oh, that poor brother.
Yeah,
that sucks for him.
He's cool though.
Yeah, he is. He's cool, Boomerang. Okay, so favorite death. That's question 13. Favorite death.
Deleted scene.
Jar Jar.
God. Favorite death. I don't know. When Django Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he gets beheaded by mace.
And it's just. You just see it roll away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was just because Django was cool, and then when he gets cut down, you're like you feel it. So yeah, I'd say when Django died.
I'd say for
as much as it sucked because I like Django, but it was a cool death.
Yeah, I'd say for me, Clone Wars episode, where I can't remember. I know it's bizarre favorite death, but I can't remember the name. I think he was 99, one of the clone troopers, and he was in a deformed batch. So he was all hunchback, old and stuff, but he was basically a cleaner.
Okay.
But when the droids first attacked Kamino, he was part of that attack, and the droids drove some of the younglings into one of the sleeping accommodations, and they all ran out of ammo, and he was like, right, I'm gonna go and get more, and he's just stumbling away, and the droids shoot him in the back. It's just and it's that brought tears to my eyes, because they actually had like a proper funeral for him and everything.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my God, this guy meant something.
Holy crap!
This clone meant something, unlike all of the others.
Unlike all the others.
But yeah, that was probably one of my saddest deaths, because
Fair enough.
you know that sucked. Question 14: what is your favourite part of Star Wars? Did I seriously write that? Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
Okay.
What's your favourite part of Star Wars? So not specifically a film. What's your favourite part? So favourite scene. Oh no! Wait. Sorry. No. I've got this. Sorry. What's your favourite part of Star Wars out of?
Oh, okay.
The Old Republic. Episodes 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Episodes 1 to 4, and then after that.
Okay.
So when Luke goes on to do whatever he does.
A piece from each, or just one of them?
Just one of them. So out
Okay.
of those 4.
I'd say probably. I don't know.
I would have thought it would have been the original trilogy for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I say somewhere in the originals.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Like a scene?
No. Sorry. Out of those 4, so you've got the Old Republic that stands as 1. Then you've got episodes 1 to 3 that stands as 1, and then episodes 4 to 6. that stands as 1.
trilogy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sorry.
I was so confused. I was like, wait.
What is he asking me?
You want one single scene from one of each of those things that has happened? Okay.
No. Sorry, I wouldn't ask for that.
That would melt me.
Very near to the end now.
Okay.
Question 15. Who did you want to see get together that didn't?
R2D2 and C3PO. Yes.
I thought you were going to say something like Chewbacca and Han Solo.
Oh my god. I don't know, because there was no other really characters that I ever saw in Star Wars that were like love interests. It was never really a thing.
There were 2 that I have that might help you out a bit. There was always talk when like how Star Wars Episode 1 should have been done and things like that. That Anakin and Padme. Sorry, that happened. That Obi-Wan and Padme.
That was already a thing, yeah.
Obi-Wan and Padme should have had a thing that would have driven Anakin to be more of a jealous thing rather than just a jealous boyfriend. But then in the Clone Wars, and it seems that Obi-Wan should have multiple lovers. He's broken hearts across the universe.
He is the James Bond of
Star Wars, yeah. But he the Prime Minister of the new Mandalore. So this is after all the stuff that you saw in the Old Republic thing that we watched. The Prime Minister, who's called Satine, I believe.
Yeah.
She develops a love interest with Obi-Wan, and he actually openly says in an episode of the Clone Wars, "I would have left the Jedi Council had you asked me to."
Oh, okay.
And that's canon because the Clone Wars is canon. So that's in Star Wars, cemented it. And Satine, she dies by Darth Maul, and he makes Obi-Wan watch.
Oh.
He basically pulls her towards his blade. He just sticks it out, and she just goes straight through it.
Oh,
watch.
That's deep.
And he doesn't even then attack Obi-Wan. He just puts him in a cell to just grieve.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
So that's something that because they were constantly having sort of like a love-hate relationship, where it's sort of like she had an authority, but he was like, yeah, but I'm a Jedi and I know things, so you should retreat rather than take out your little wee senator pistol and just start blasting away.
Pew 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 pew.
You should listen to me, and she didn't like that most of the time. She thought that the Jedi, because originally Mandalore was a neutral system, they wouldn't join the Republic and they wouldn't join the Separatists. So there's Obi-Wan saying, come on, we've had this connection, you should join me, I know what I'm talking about. And then there's the Separatists that are causing pain and stress towards her, but they also have many promising gifts that they could give to her, like protection and stuff like that, which the Jedi have been shown to not be able to withhold. So there's that conflict between those two that's constantly going on. So I'd say probably Obi-Wan more so than Obi-Wan and Padme, Obi-Wan and Satine, because it's just that sucked when Darth Maul was just like, enter that.
That's deep.
Yeah, that really.
I kind of feel like I should go watch the Clone Wars now.
It gets a lot more in depth, and here's some new stuff with Mace Windu and that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I'm probably gonna have to end up. I'm gonna end up watching that.
By the way, over 100 episodes.
Oh God!
5 seasons. like 4 discs per season. So 5 episodes per disc. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm watching Digimon already.
Maybe wait for a bit because there's no rush.
So much.
Yeah. So
the list is endless.
Last question of this particular questionnaire that I made up. What new thing would you like to see in the 40 years of Star Wars that we've been promised? Yes, in a Machinima video, we were told that Star Wars has been signed on not just for films but for merchandise, games and such for 40 more years.
40. I want more stuff.
I want more Star Wars.
I want an RPG of Star Wars that isn't Old Republic. It's like a cross between what No Man's Sky will be, Battlefront. Yeah, No Man's Sky and Battlefront. So you are like you are you, and you can go around and explore and do stuff.
Yeah, because there's so much more of the Star Wars that's yet to be explored, which is strange considering how long it's been around. But
it should be just been.
For me, and this is something that the Clone Wars did, I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but there's a series of episodes, I believe it's in season 3, I want to say, where Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan meeting with Captain Rex, who's the clone trooper in blue armor, I don't know if you know him. Yeah. On a ship, and they both get to the rendezvous point, but they can't see each other.
Okay.
And what happens is, I'm guessing what happens is that they, because they're all Force sensitive, they unlock a new dimension, which is inside basically this giant brown crystal that floats in the sky. They go inside there, and the land that's in there, it changes day in and day out because there are 3 spirits that live in this pyramid. There's a brother that represents all darkness.
Okay.
There's a sister that represents all light, and there's the father that has to keep the balance.
Okay.
And their intervention causes like deaths of those spirits, and then the Force to go out of balance. Anakin sees his future of him becoming Darth Vader, but then of course that gets wiped because then he wouldn't do anything that he was meant to do. But just the idea of a spirit that has, like you said, that there's the sort of like the ultimatum, that's where the Sith are.
Yeah.
But then this spirit was there.
Yeah.
He was the dark side and everything to do with it. And then the female, the sister, she was the other end of the scale, while the father was in between the two. Like, they were so powerful. When Anakin confronted the father, he ignited his lightsaber, and the father just basically pushed the blade back into the hilt with his finger.
What?
He is insanely strong.
Okay, that's really what.
Am I opening up Star Wars to you in a new way that you've never thought was possible?
A whole other like dimension of Star Wars.
Yeah, but they basically keep the balance in the universe that we know.
Okay.
So if the Jedi were, if the light one were to die, but the dark one were to survive, then the Sith would become even more powerful in their universe. He would then be able to leave, because the father wouldn't have any control. He would then be able to leave this other dimension and go and cause havoc. The Sith wouldn't even be able to stop him.
Jesus.
He would just be a new deadly force in the universe. That's what he wanted.
Christ on a bike. Would surprise me if like some Sith is stupid enough to actually try and like release him.
Yeah, but you could say that he could just basically promise that, because he can cause visions and stuff.
Yeah.
He did it to Anakin, where he showed that Anakin was the chosen one, but he needs to join him in order to fulfill his destiny and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He could just say to the Sith, look, ooh, this is what you want. You know, do you want to be with Ventress Calac of all? Being my Sith. God.
Jesus.
You can be with her as long as you release me.
Why?
Because she's hot.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. She's like the Cruella de Vil of Star Wars.
She looks like hard candy.
Yeah, but when you get to know her more in the Clone Wars, she has this really seductive quality. Like, there was this one scene that was in very early Clone Wars, actually, where she kills a clone trooper. She removes his helmet and she actually kisses him before she finally delivers. That is fantastic. I want to get killed by Ventress. If I'm going to die, that's how I want to go. She's... Yes.
Now I know how Joel feels. When I like weeb out about something, he's just like, what the hell? Now I know exactly how he feels. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so that's what I want to see in our 40 years of Star Wars.
I just want to see more interactive stuff. Probably.
Oculus Rift Star Wars.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be very cool. I think they're bringing out new games like Jedi Academy where you get to learn all the fighting styles and things like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So that might be something that we get to see.
Star Wars Art Academy.
You just come in like a little Jedi Padawan with your lunchbox. Right, Master Yoda, I'm ready to join.
And then you get killed by Anakin.
Just right at the end where you've learned all the fighting styles and Anakin kills you.
Dead.
Oh, wow. So we'll finish it off just with going back to the spoof thing. We probably won't touch on the Old Republic because we don't really have time. But did you see that spoof in Robot Chicken where he goes to the Jedi Temple and he's not really up for killing the Padawan? He's just got to go to your happy place, go to your happy place. Think of the moons in Naboo where you fell in love.
Oh, yeah, I remember
and then
that, yeah.
they're all sunflowers. And he just basically goes around tearing sunflowers apart. And it's like, Anakin, I'm home. Oh, good. I left you some freshly cut sunflowers on the dining table.
Oh, my God. Just children's heads.
Oh, my God.
I want to go back and watch Robot Chicken now as well.
It's so good.
Oh.
But yeah. So
Is that Star Wars stuff over?
that's
Star Wars special done.
that's Star Wars special done.
Jeez.
I know. I feel like I'm all Star Wars'd out now.
I feel like I have been penetrated by Star Wars. And it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, but as Paul said, it'll only hurt if you struggle.
Well, we'll call it struggle cuddle. Star Wars struggle cuddle.
So, if you guys are still here, which I commend you if you are, not to say that our content is anything less than absolutely fabulous, but it was a long old one compared to the usual stuff that we do. I realise I'm sitting very close to the microphone, which has always been a problem. I probably shouldn't do that. So, yeah. So you guys have just finished watching Star Wars State of the Galaxy Episode 7. And I suppose, and something I keep on leaving out of each episode, I really shouldn't, is where does this leave us in the State of the Galaxy in terms of what we predicted for Star Wars Episode 7? Unfortunately, though, we didn't really get much with the trailer, so we really were just basing it out. There's a pretty walker, there's stuff like that. I want to focus a bit on our prediction for Hoth, because obviously it didn't play out. It turned out to be Starkiller Base, a planet that was artificially transformed into Third Death Star. But I really liked the idea that we were going down with that, like the Empire doesn't just conquer, it divides and conquers. So you conquer a place and then you divide up the loot and you establish a new settlement. I mean, Hoth had in terms of creating a strategically useful place, it would have been very useful, even if they were to build their new base exactly on top of Echo Base. You've got like a giant open area you can just align with turrets. That's why the Empire didn't get into it as quicker than they did, although they were still pretty good. I mean, to be fair, the rebels were outrageously outnumbered. So yeah, that was something that I really, really liked, that we brought up. We speculated that Finn may be running along the same kind of lines as a Luke Skywalker and Han Solo dressing up as stormtroopers undercover thing. Obviously, that didn't play out as we thought it would, because it turned out that he was a stormtrooper anyway, but had defected more or less at that point. So that's quite interesting. What else did we talk about? I know that we did quite a lot of stuff on the Star Wars questionnaires, so it was nice to see the answers to my personal one. I'm going to continue to improve that and change it a bit, and then hopefully do a final. I mean, come on, it was ages ago when we did that. I still can't believe how long ago that was. It still doesn't feel quite right. I may have to check that, because 2011, 2017 doesn't seem quite right. I mean, I knew Adam. Gosh, when was that? I mean, it's only been a year since I've been out of college, so 2 or 3. But no, that doesn't. I mean, maybe the coding on the files is incorrect or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so I completely lost my train of thought. There you go. See, that's what happens at 2 in the morning. So we talked a lot about the Clone Wars. He said he might go off and watch a bit more of that. He talked a lot about Nihilus and Revan. We talked a lot about the Old Republic, and and I'm sorry, Adam, but you wanted the Force Unleashed to remain canon, but unfortunately it isn't. But I suppose the main reason why I released this podcast was primarily to see our thoughts on episode 7. Unfortunately, we didn't really fixate on it as much as I thought we would, and just to see past Star Wars stuff. I need to apologise also for the stuff I probably got wrong. I've tried to edit out as much as I can, which I know is kind of a cheat. There was one thing that I said, which I'll own up to now. I was talking about the Galactic Conquest, I think, campaign on Battlefront 2, the original, and saying that during that you get to go to Camino and deal with a rogue batch of clones, but I said Geonosis. So there's little things like that. I mean, I've always been there's a bit of a reputation for me not always getting things right, but I tend to try and fix that. I mean, I've said in the past, I suppose this is a good episode to fix it with, really, saying that Obi-Wan had a lover called Duchess Satine. No, because they never actually went that far. It was just a love interest, kind of, sort of. And I suppose there are other things that I've done. Thankfully, there are some very keen-eyed Star Wars fans out there that have been keeping me up to date. So I thank you guys, and I really hope that you stick it out, despite me sometimes getting stuff a little bit off. But I really hope that this episode sparks some conversation. I mean, hopefully, I'll talk about it a bit more about what we kind of came up with during this episode. It's very late, so most of that stuff's already escaped me. So I'm going to round up this episode, because otherwise you guys are going to be looking at 3-hour mark. So whether you are Jedi or Sith, Rebels or Galactic Empire, First Order or Resistance, CIS or the Galactic Republic, or of course, Santa Claus, of course, our good friends, the Mandalorians. I wish you all a very good evening, day, afternoon, wherever you guys are, and may the Force be with you, and I hope you have a very, very, very good New Year. Take care.